Hello guys. I missed yesterday, as you can tell, because today is Sunday. But I was busy kind of seeing lions and tigers at the zoo. So, oh my. So, you know, that was a lot of fun. But yeah, back to the project today. Stream timing is going to be all over the place this week. So just, you know, it won't be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, very stably for the next week. So it'll be just whenever it happens, to be honest. But yeah, so we're just going to get straight into it. If there's any questions, as always, just ask. And I'm just going to just stop pissing about and start finishing the model, I guess. Need to do the hands, need to do hair is a no-go. Want to remodel the tie because it's a bit weird. Want to do the scarf. I think I might just manually retopo the scarf, to be honest. I don't think it's worth the time to do it in MD, especially considering the scale of the scene. I do need to find some good ref. I want to give him a belt. I feel like that will kind of help make it a little bit more interesting, because currently he's missing kind of, you know, buttons for his trousers and that sort of stuff. It just feels a bit empty. Like if I turn off that, I don't know, it just feels a bit dull. Like buttons on the shirt will help. The position of the head makes no sense. The shoulders are too high, that's what it is. But yeah, let's check ref. And the collar is stupid high. If I put the coat back in, does it make sense? Don't know if this is the right mesh or not. No, it's not. It makes more sense when you add this in. I've just got a feeling it's the chest being too far back. We can always move this around. We're still pretty early in the general process. And this tiny little tie. And let's just grab this section right here. It needs to be way bigger. That helps a bit. I think this needs to be pulled back. I'm starting to break away from the sculpt a bit now, but that's fine. Just do that, pull you back. That will help the neck feel in like it's in a better place. We need to move the shoulders a bit lower as well. Let's get a little bit more of this in place. That's better. I'll be re-sculpting quite a lot of stuff, to be honest. His neck just feels too short. So one of the questions we have to answer for ourselves now is, do we want to stay faithful to ref, or do we care about that a bit less than just getting something that looks good? Let's turn on symmetry. Right, let's leave that for now. Let's just get everything retopologized first, because we need to get our details ported over within ZBrush, which the shirt I'm going to have to redo anyway, so that's not a big deal. And let's just move that back for now. I'm almost wondering, is it worth removing the thickness from everything? Because it's going to complicate the sculpting process quite a lot, but at the same time we do kind of need it. These guys, deselect them. Technically we won't see the inside of the coat, so what I'm doing right now is not going to help, but I cannot just make sure my shapes are correct, because then it makes every other stage easier, because I have like a good amount of like reference points. Why is 5 not working? Weird. Right, that's better. What else isn't working? Having the floating hands is something I've always liked. Like, ever since playing Rayman as a kid, like I've always liked that general look. Why is that so flat? So there's the middle, 1, 2, 1, 2. For these. That's better. Let's get the scarf shown. It does look considerably better with the scarf in place, but I think that's just because it's hiding all the forms, not fixing them. So let's try lowering the shoulders a little bit. Having that arch downwards is pretty good, actually. That feels a lot better. Still not right. I think the issue now is with this section of the jaw. Let's go with, yeah, let's go with that one. Which is you. It feels better. Well, he kind of feels like Jay Leno. There we go. What I have to do when I'm putting all the details back on is I have to mask out most of the normal. Right, tie. Off the top of my head, I can't remember how you tie a tie, which is going to make this a little bit more painful. Although, I don't need to model it, like, I don't need to model it as a correct tie, it's more just having the reference of what it should look like. let's delete these. See if we can find an image of a tie that looks helpful. Oh, I did it completely wrong. Why did I model it the way I modeled it? Alright, cool, so we have to fix that. Why did I think I modeled it correctly? And why is this duplicated? Oh, because it is another... Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so this needs to be straight up deleted. And then, I guess, you should be on top, so let's just do that. Could even do like a clip-on tie because it's a kid. That could be fun. Just fix that position a little bit. Hey Cozy, how you doing? Alright, so where's the sculpt for the tie? Oh, I would have already deleted it, wouldn't I? Alright, let's just cube.
Is it Chrissy?
What, sorry?
You said it's Chrissy?
No, not Chrissy. Cozy. Right, wrong way. These ones. Let's delete you for good measure. I realise I've completely forgotten what a tie looks like. So I had the modelled piece like literally in the complete wrong place. It was bad. So let's put you there. Then it needs to twist quite a lot, so we need to scale this like that. Scale you down. Push you in. These need to squeeze up. Something like that will do for now. Although I do need it to actually feed into the top of that, so it won't do. Smooth that. It's getting so chopped up. Let's delete you and you, and just reinsert that loop. Flow. Right, so that's that done for now. Not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. Let's move you to there. Just pinching from the right place, approximately. Cool, so where's the coat model that I did? There it is. I kind of want to make this tie longer, but I kind of enjoy having like a tiny little tie on him.
Tiny tie.
Tiny tie. This feels too round. I'll sharpen up the end of it in a second. There we go. So, let's get that scarf back in there. Doesn't feel right. Like, there's too much of a depth difference between the shirt, the tie, and all that stuff. Like, if I move this forward, that feels a lot more correct. Let's just ignore it for now. Do the hands. So what am I going to do as one mesh? I guess the thumb I can do up to like this point and then have it be a separate mesh. So I want to do the whole thing of like puppet fingers and stuff. Although, should I separate the fingers at each joint? Or should I not do that? Let's see if I can find puppet hands. So what I'm thinking is something like this, which could be a lot of fun. I think that's what I'll do. I'm not going to model like the inner workings of the fingers and that sort of stuff, because it would be pretty easy, just time consuming. I'm not overly interested in easy but time consuming. It would feel a bit pointless. Let's go to the modeling menu, set you as a live surface, quad draw. And let's just get, so we need the thumb to start there, right? So let's just do and let's just do a quick so you can go there, and come on, let me set it actually. I hate when it does this, it's like hiding inside the mesh, and for whatever reason it can't grab it. It should be working now. The fuck? It's not detecting those middle faces at all. This time? Alright, cool. Stop playing these games with me, Quadro. Don't like it. So it is detecting them, so why is it? Autodesk, fix your fucking software. Oh, it's on two different meshes, isn't it? Oh, it's gonna really struggle with all this shit. Alright, so I'm gonna have to... I might have to force it to do some stuff. Still, surely it should have some kind of like depth sorting thing. Alright. Oh, they have to be in the same mesh. Alright, so I'm gonna have to manually connect this stuff, so let's delete both of those. And for now, just do that. There we go. Yeah, they ain't connecting, so I have to manually weld those. That one's connected though. Edge border edge. Okay. There we go. Why is that doing like this?
Oh, look at his little hand.
The fucking the quad draw tool is so confused by the mesh having like multiple levels, as in like it's not one mesh, it's several meshes. It just doesn't understand it. I'm almost debating separating them and then doing a boolean. I feel like it's really struggling with. You know, I'm gonna kill that.
What's that?
It's really struggling with the fact that it's multiple meshes, so I'm gonna boolean them together, like manually. So let's do a mesh separate. Where are you? Separate. Cool, let's grab these two, boolean them. There we go, so that's one mesh now. And then let's just set that on its own as a live object. And now go into quad draw. So we should be able to get everything. Yeah, it looks like it's working now. It's very confused loops, but I don't care. I'm trying my best to develop like a I don't care as long as it holds the form type attitude topology at the moment, because I find that I normally spend too long trying to figure out what the perfect topology is rather than just making a model that holds its shapes. I think that's just so much more important sometimes. Like on projects like this where it's not going through pipeline, there's no need to obsess about perfect topo. Obviously, you know, I say that, but then I also spent an obscene amount of time doing the ears not too long ago, so, you know, call me a hypocrite if you want, but... striving for perfection isn't always the best way to do things. That's where they merge. So let's pull that over. So I think this is where I'll end the fun, in terms of like when does it become a new model. So after this point would just be a kind of closed hole. And I think I need to get rid of U just to get some more uniform topology. Those are too close together there. Bless me. So I need to carry this on. So, oh, this is gonna be a bitch. Alright, so. That's a spiral loop. Oh, but that's a closed loop, so how's that happened? What did I do? I'm more okay with that, to be honest. Although this is disgusting. I'm not okay with that. Maybe I can be okay with that if I smooth it? Nah. No, that's horrific. How did this happen? Oh, you're an Engon. That's how that happened. How did that happen though? Like how did I create an Engon? Right, so let's go through these. Right. It's happening again. wondering, should this branch off earlier? Is that the issue? Does it matter that much? Am I just getting overly picky for the sake of it now? I think I'm getting overly picky for the sake of it. Let's do that. They're literally just talking about trying to not get too picky over tiny details. So I think at this point it's best to switch to traditional modelling. So that's the only mesh that really needs anything special. Just move these to a more reasonable place. I'm almost wondering if it would have been better to have this edge loop travel that way. Like if I was to do this, connect these two, and then would this result in a better flow? No, because that's going to result in some weird pinching, isn't it? Let's just try it. That allows me to reinforce the edge that needs to be reinforced to stay sharp. So that might be a better result overall. It also means I can get a little bit more going into the thumb, although this is weird. That's so stretched out. So let's put you in there, do that. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not rotating the camera so much, it's actually disorientating me, making me quite dizzy. Right, that'll do. On the edges. Trying to be quicker to do this. 11. Ooh, fuck you. Maybe if I insert a loop there and pull all this stuff down, that'll go into 12, which is at least a round number. Let's do that. Also gives me a little bit more resolution on the bottom, which is something I was looking for. So let's just pull this over, insert a loop, smooth. Very least that's a round number. Which is important because of reasons. There we go. Turn that off. Solo you now. Fail hole. Then let's get, so this is 12 now, correct? 12, alright, so we need 6 on either side, so let's go from U to U. 6, perfect. So connect these two edges. So we need to go 3 either side. A sign of unbalanced topology. This is even. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's even. Oh. I see no issues here. Alright, so let's get these extrude face, scale. Nope. Circularize components. Yeah, of course, that's where I wanted it. Alright, ignore that one. How did you guess that? Let's just move that forward a little bit. If I could put into words how much this bothers me. Right. Not I'll have to delete you, insert that loop back in, edit edge flow, don't like that, just very mildly inflate, there we go. Edit edge flow on you, do you work? Nope. Actually kind of. And just deflate it a little bit. There we go. Quote unquote clean topo. Bevel these edges, I think. There you go. Leave that for a while though, just because I need to get everything else in place first. So, next thing to close is this, which has 17 edges. Life is miserable. So I guess if we insert a loop over here, which side has the most? I guess bottom, so yeah, let's keep it towards the top. Cool. So 18, at least it's nice and round. Fail hole. Let's pick a top, middle. Let's go with you. Or bottom middle even. And go with you. So that's gonna be offset, isn't it? Let's go from you to you. 10. So 9. Need 9 on either side. I think that is better. So I need to go, I need to fill this hole first. And then connect you to you, was it? 9. What fucked up maths did I just do? Wait, 24? Where did that come from? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong end. Alright. How did that happen? Okay, so say that's middle, that's middle. Nine. Cool, so let's connect you to you. And then we need, I think, that one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this one's gonna suck. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Let's pick left to right to dominate this one. So now like that is fine. Extrude, scale. I guess I should have extruded it out first. Then extrude scale. So now I can just bevel this. And then we need to kind of make this even smaller still, actually. And select contain vertices. Actually, let's keep those. Let's go average verts. Perfect. Beautiful topology. Oh dear. Now let's get this. Fill hole. How many edges are you? 24. Okay, so we need 12 on either side. I'm going to guess at this one and this one. 11. And I'm guessing then this one is 13. Alright, cool. So, multi-cut. Let's go from U. Actually, I quite like that one being in the middle. Although, middle on the top was this one, which presents an issue. Nah, fuck it. Do that. So that means we need 6 on either side, which would put it at. Did I say this is 6? Okay, so bottom of those 3 to 6. Alright, cool. Again, just select that. That's 6. I should make this 6. I should make U6. And I would make U6. Cool. So let's go top bottom. Now that's like a good place to call a corner, so let's cut across. That's a terrible place to call a corner. So we can't go further than that. Which means you need to go there. Which means you need to go there. And that's resolved. It looks horrific, but it's resolved. I kind of want to connect these though. But I don't really have a choice. So let's just do this old chestnut. Extrude. Scale. Do that. Bevel. Bevel. It looks so bad. Convert to vertices. It never looks as bad when you relax it, but that's still pretty awful. Anyway, we've got a chunk of our hand. So now I just need to make the thumb, right? And the fingers. Let's go mesh display. Set face, soften edge. And let's just quickly put that back in. And you should be better beveled than that. Just collapse those edges, just to re-bevel them wider, and then bevel that face loop, and go a nice sharp bevel. Let's see what it looks like when we smooth it, like actually smooth it. A bit bumpy, isn't it? So right, fingers. Should I redo this end and have it connect up like more rounded? Or do I go with the harsh connection? I might go with a harsh connection. Although I do kind of like how this looks. Alright, let's delete that end. I know it feels pointless because I literally just finished it, but now is a better time than ever to fix it. So let's go. Oh, wrong mesh. Or maybe it would have been better if I just kept the mesh. Why don't I delete that section? Because I've already got everything closing together, right? So just a case of doing this horrible thing. Don't know why I didn't do that by default, to be honest. Now the question is, do I keep it non-beveled, or do I find a way to add a bevel back in? Because this shape doesn't make sense to have a bevel into it anymore. Apologies, so bad. There we go. That's horrible. How about we do... That's kind of cool. Let's go a step further, delete these two. And just insert an edge loop there to make that super sharp. That feels a lot better to me. Although this bottom one doesn't really work, so let's get rid of that. Cool, so that's kind of cool, having no sharp lines. I'm not sure I like this deep bevel yet. We'll have to see about that one. Hey Becca, tell me if you hate it or not. This panel line. Becca?
Sorry, I'm just having like an absolute Facebook with someone, yes.
Tell me if you dislike it or not. This panel line for the
I
film.
like it, yeah. Well,
You
it
like
depends on how a thumb would be, I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure on it yet. I kind of want to add another panel line just going through here. But then that ends really weirdly. How bad is this going to look? Not as bad as I expected. Confusing. Nah, I hate it. It's kind of interesting. Oh, that makes quads. Oh, that makes angles. I'd have to cut across this. Yeah, we'll leave that. There are times when N-gons are okay, but I try not to be part of that crowd. Fuck you. Do every other edge is a bit quicker. Alright, so next one is this. So we just need a section easiest way is create a cube, smooth it once should be enough. Let's try once. Deform, sculpt deformer, just to make it as circular as possible. Then delete one half of it, scale to 0, extrude, and we got a cylinder with capped ends. Like perfectly capped ends as well, my favourite kind. Modify, but let's not center the pivot, let's just put the pivot there. So one thing I'm going to try to do here is make sure that every single section is built from this exact same thing without any topology changes, because what that will let me do is copy the UVs across each piece. So rather than UV each section of fingers individually, I can just UV it once. So let's just do that, I guess, and then scale it down to where it needs to go. Bevel these guys. Kind of interesting. So, no, let's fix that maybe. It'd be a bit quicker to do that, wouldn't it? And just do this again. Do puppet hands have every joint? They do, don't they? Right, so duplicate you again. So this one needs to be smaller, right? Let's just scale that down just slightly. There we go, that feels better. And which one was this? That is top of the hand. Why is it with fingers? Where's the finger? Did I delete it? Oh, it's in there. Okay. Cool. Let's grab you. Let's do that a little bit. And the difference with this one is doing. Let's grab all of these. Difference with this one is doing this with a much larger fall off, even larger still. Oh, makes it that speed linear. So let's just rotate that, move it up, move it down. This kind of curled square thing. Or does it need to be rounder at the tip? Let's just try doing a... The fingertips can be a different shape. You okay?
Just having this baffling Facebook conversation.
In what kind of way?
An artist took feedback really bad, read it really badly, and then that it was from someone with a lot more like message and kind of chatting was like, I think the feedback's fine. He posted about it on Facebook being like, you know, slating this artist for giving feedback, like genuine feedback, like anatomy feedback.
Right.
Posted about it being like, how dare this person give me feedback? I have this many years experience. And
Oh, I hate people like that.
But they're like, oh god, so it's been crazy. Yeah, I'll show you later. But God and Christ, and I just don't understand that.
Becca,
Yeah.
I have more years experience than you. Please can you never give me feedback on anything?
It baffles me so much whenever it happens, because I genuinely don't think the person's reading the comments right, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They focus on there was one critique which is more like a, not stylistic, but kind of like like in the design, and they've like zoomed in that one piece of feedback in like a great feedback post.
Yeah.
Or it's been like, I have this many years experience and this many years of
Whenever
knowledge.
whenever people rely on years of experience, it makes me cringe.
Because it's like me going against, you know, saying like, oh, Mike, or was Alan in the same year as you? Was he the year below you?
Alan was a year below me.
So it's like,
and that's
Alan,
my point.
It's like I'm not taking feedback from Alan because he's a year below
Yeah,
me.
like he's an absolutely godly modeler. But I've been doing CG longer, therefore I can't take feedback from him. It's like, no, he's better than me. Why would I not take feedback from him? Like, and even if someone's not better than you, you can still take feedback from them. Like, I feel like it's very easy as an artist to kind of let your ego just drive you fucking mental. Duplicate, move you there, rotate you that way. You okay? Scale it up just slightly. Duplicate you, move you there. Technically I shouldn't just scale them universally, right? I should scale them in length. So let's set these to be 1. Let's try to rotate that to match. If I scale it universally, I'm going to be reducing the width, but that's not necessarily accurate. Like, it's just some fingers are shorter than others. It's not that they're smaller. Obviously the little finger, yeah, you need to scale it, but there for now, and that would be more accurate, generally speaking. And then let's get this finger again. Duplicate you again.
Somebody's replaced, you know, The Simpsons, or the WAP thing with, the WAP song.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone's replaced it with Mo, and it's like, for The Simpsons, and it's like, oh no.
What could he even say that's related? That song, I find that song so funny. Although one thing I saw earlier today is like someone saying, "Oh, you know, music is getting disgusting these days," and then they've shown a kids TV show from like the 90s. Well, it's not a kids TV show; it's just a TV show that was child friendly at the time. And they've got a singer on there who's literally singing about like not wanting a small dick man. And like the camera's just like cut into kids singing it. Is like, holy fuck, how is this ever okay? If we can all just agree that the world's fucked, that'd be great. That's so broken. Let's hide this. Get you, put you in there. Cool. We have a hand. Then let's just grab one of these and use that for the wrist. Let's make the hand visible again for a second. Guess I need to make it thinner. I can hide that again. Make it thinner. Four. And then we need to, oh, it is already set up. There we go. Then this one's going to have to kind of re-bevel, I think. Although I can probably just be cheeky and do that. That works well enough. I'll do that. So let's just do that. Let's do the same on that side, because I don't do that over here. I don't know what happened to my voice just there. Cool. That's kind of fun. This little finger needs to move. So we could have like the steel rods going between these, just to hold it all together, which is an easy enough thing to do, although I could even do it once it's in pose because it's such a simple thing. Let's get all of that. Let's save our scene, because I haven't saved in a long time now. Group everything. It'd be better just to grab these, right? Group. Duplicate. -1 on the X. Perfect. Modify free transformations. This will have to be temporarily put in here. Group. And group. Just do that. Test render. Yeah, that's interesting. With a good wood shader, that could be really cool. I wish, I don't know, maybe you guys know, like, is there a way to make it so that when you move the render region, it doesn't start rendering until you've finished moving it? Because I don't like that it starts rendering as you move it, because that's just, it's going to constantly leave like noisy areas behind. Also, small thing, but this angle really annoys me just because you can't see the wrist, so it looks like the hand's floating. It's one of those tiny details that no one gives a shit about, but it's going to really annoy me anyway. That's still not working for me. Maybe I need to bring the coat in to be visible. Because once I've modeled the actual scarf correctly, this area will read completely differently. Like, really very differently. Let's just get rid of that. I'm going to run and grab a drink, and then we'll continue working on it afterwards. Did I say drink? I meant M&Ms, because I've already got a drink at my desk. That is smooth. Why are they smooth? No, because I got them in smooth preview mode, haven't I? Yep, there we go. Yeah, I'm going to do a lot of work to make this model look more interesting. Very plain looking at the moment. Like, we can add things like pockets and all that sort of stuff, but it needs more than that. Now I'm going to regret adding thickness this early. Granted, thickness is one of the absolute easiest things to remove. Just delete a Facebook, and when you're done, just re-extrude it. It's really quite easy. Right. How long can I avoid the scarf for? Oh, I can't retopologize the hair. Okay, so I have to do the scarf now. Right, how do I do this? I still haven't decided how I want to approach a scarf. No, I've decided against Marvel's designer just because of the scale of the character. It doesn't make much sense. I'm going to look at what the absolute masters of this stuff do. Come on, there you go. Leica. Have they done a scarf on a character? This is how I want the cloth to look, ultimately. So I'm not going to be able to get small folds and stuff. Like, obviously, I can force some in, but just because of the nature of the size of these things, the cloth won't wrinkle the same way it normally would. It'll also appear like unnaturally thick, which is part of the appeal for me. What happens if I add the word scarf? Oh, interesting. I don't think this is from the original film. Oh no, it is. It's an animation puppet. Weird. Still with the word scarf added? Yeah, it is. I need to pick a specific film they've done, maybe Box Trolls. I've never actually got around to watching the whole movie. I've watched it in snippets. It's so pretty. Working for Leica must be really cool. I'm sure they get crunch just like everyone else, but the projects are just so pretty. And even though it's stop motion, they do quite a lot of work in ZBrush. Pretty sure they do all their face shapes in ZBrush, and then 3D print them and swap them out. That's cool. Because I think they did a Pixelogic talk a couple of years ago. Let's add the word clothing. They have to have one character that wears a scarf. Like, it has to be one at least. This is going to be so fun to do. Apparently not. That's the closest I'm going to get, and that's not even close to a scarf. Kubo, no. Not sure if scarves are really a thing in East Asia. As far as I'm aware, they're more of a Western thing, right? So Box Trolls is more likely to have it. I don't think they do. In my head I was just thinking like, oh, were scarves even invented when this film was based? But then I realised that's such a bullshit idea because scarves are just a piece of cloth. Like, okay, well, how to tie a scarf. I'm going to replace the actual tie model with a proper thing. At some point I'll model the tie properly anyway. There's a few changes I need to make. I need to make this connection between this and this sharper. This is where having a thickness makes things harder. So these need to connect. Like, you need to make a strong V shape. Or that could just be his chin blocking stuff, which is also possible. Like, that would appear to be a strong V. No, actually it isn't, so I'm talking shit. So that needs to be sharpened. This, maybe I will replace it, maybe I won't. Haven't decided yet. We can't see the ends of this, so it's possible this isn't even a scarf. But what could this be? More Googling. Thick. I'm not shopping. No. Why does images and shopping always move? Like, they swap places constantly. This fabric could be really fun to make. Maybe if this was tied lower? So it would mean abandoning some of these wrinkles. Like, I don't know how well it comes across in stream. There's like 2 lines here, which would mean it's like being pinched to a point, which this isn't really doing. But visually, this is quite interesting. And actually, color-wise, matches what I've got in mind for this guy. So I'm gonna save this image. That's a big image. Save that. Also, PureRef is an absolute godsend. The moment I found out you can literally just drag images and it immediately puts them in. Right, it's so instant, I love it. I'm going to try Marvelous. So, what do I need to do? Well, save my scene for one. Hide you, grab all of these. Drag these into there. Alt save my scene. Scale you up by 10. Perfect. I want the hair too, so let's get that back. Scale you up by 10. File, export selection, modeling my exports. MD meshes. Kid export 10 scale. download the update off stream. Right, so let's see how badly I can fuck this up. Doing centimeters. All good. Ah, yeah, the hand has inverted normals. Right, so. So I can't remember how to pin. What's the hotkey to pin? Designer pin. Oh, funnily enough, if you search Marvel's Designer pin, the first result that comes up is a video about a scarf, which is really convenient. It has to be a quick pin though, right? That's tack. Well, at the very least it's doing better than last time because the scale's real. We're doing well, lads. Uh-oh. How? Help. Why can I not focus camera? Marvelous Designer, focus camera. I don't want video tutorials because I'm live streaming. The joys of live streaming in a software you barely know. How did I lose the camera so quickly though? Because that was impressive. Front. Custom view. No. Is perspective not one of those? Have I already done something that like locks the camera? Oh, I'm an idiot. That's all. Alright, cool. So reset 3D arrangement. So how do I pin this? Pin fabric. Controls are so weird. Where the fuck is the pin? Hold down W. Do I have to simulate? Oh, there we go. No idea how to delete the pin now, but we're making progress. Ah, well that makes sense. How do I add more pins? Because that won't go away now. Oh, it won't let me add another one. So on pin there. Holding down the W key does not add a pin. So how did I just do it? Unless it's only one pin at a time. What the fuck? Why do you hate me so? I genuinely need to be able to add a pin right now. Because I can't do this without it. Do I have to W right click? Wait, pin. Damn it. There we go. Alright, so I have to hold W, then drag select. Can I... Alright, so I have to hold W, then click. Right, okay. There we go. Progress. Alright, where's that picture? There it is. So I need you to go over, you to go under. Please do as you're told. The camera controls boggle my mind. Cool. Let's delete that. In fact, would it be easier for me to just do that instead? Nope. Let go. There we go. Then I need to put that back under you, right? There we go. Delete that pin. Did it come undone? I think it pulled itself through, didn't it? Yeah, it did. How do I do that? Where's simulation layer? So remember this being a thing, and it's really helpful. Might even be on this guy. So then we've got sim layer in here. Let's create a new fabric actually. In fact, let's just edit fabric 1. Type fabric matte, that's fine by me. Physical properties, let's go with wool. Coat weight, I guess? I don't know. Right, so let's so you pull you in. I need to make it less wide, don't I? That might help a bit. Maybe I should make a version of mesh where it's Boolean, so there's no gaps for this all to get stuck in. Right, why am I using that fabric preset? I should be using, where is it, default for simulation? I put the pin inside the fucking head. Should that even be possible to put the pin inside the head? Like, on a software level, should it even be allowed to happen? So let's go one pin at a time. Delete you. Delete you. Delete you. Delete you. Stop. Please. Please. again. So let's massively change the particle distance. Let's go down to 10. So thickness wise, let's set this to be rendered as thick. So we need to make this way thicker as well. So collision, oh, we need to set rendering thickness the same as collision thickness just so we can see it. Okay, so we definitely need to go thicker. Let's go 4. And set you to 4 as well. I feel like I should do a dynameshed version of this where it doesn't have the hollow areas between. That in of itself is more interesting now, so let's set that to like 6, set you to 6. Loosen that knot up a little bit. Just gonna put pins everywhere, just so I don't accidentally lose this knot. And let's just pull you. Uh-oh. I wish there was a way to get it to like repel. That's very slowly undoing itself, isn't it? I preferred it where it was a while ago. That. So let's pin. I just want this to settle now. So let's pin you, 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 you. I really don't want it to move. You, 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 you. Cool. So now let's go to an even lower collision distance, like 5. And then delete all pins. And same, just for a second. Now is when we can change the fabric to be wool. I think wool coat weight. And that will just correct the way it wrinkles. Uh-oh. Also makes it move in slow motion, apparently. Why are you like this? We can always undo to where we were a second ago. Yeah, let's undo to where we were a second ago. So these guys really doesn't like them. Fine, why don't I? Oh, so it has to just select a single point. I'm just gonna put them everywhere. Maybe it's worth deleting the hair. Let's go back into Maya. And just take that hair out of the group. File, export selection. File, import. I don't trust that this is going to stay, so I'm going to export this. Export OBJ selected. Let's just call this scarf thick. Unified UV, that's fine. Single object, that's also fine. Centimeters, that's all good. Thick, cool. And then I'm going to export it again. OBJ selected. Call this one fin. Just because I don't know which one will work best for pipeline. And just set that to fin. So now let's import OBJ. Right. Now let's try something. Oh, it's beautiful. Cool. So let's re-export that file, export selection. Let's go with thick first. Replace it, yeah. So that's thick, that's all good. Okay. And export it again, file, export selection, thin. And let's go with thin. And I'm just gonna try tweaking the shape. I kinda wanna make it wider. How much is this gonna break everything? Let's find out. Delete all pins. That'll find its natural kind of relaxation point. It's just undoing itself again, isn't it? Let's switch back to default for simulation. Do a super low hanging one, that could be kind of interesting. Default for simulation is such a lifesaver, it's not even funny. Settle one at a time. In fact, we can even so now that we got it in that general position, just move it over. I'll treat this as a learning experience to like take away from kind of decimate the not decimate, like dynamesh everything. Let's check how our meshes look though. So let's import the thick mesh. Scenes. That's images. Scenes modeling. Maya exports MD meshes. Scarf thick. And it brought it in at correct scale. Oh, because it's still 10 times scale. Alright, cool. So let's drop that in there. And let's also import scarf thin. Oh, I should have imported it with a quadded mesh, shouldn't I? Back to MD. There we go. So, save this. StickyMonsters, scenes, modeling, Maya, exports, MD meshes. Just put it in here as scarf underscore MD underscore 01. Hit open again. Cool. We need to remeshing to retopology. I can't remember which one's which, so I'm going to go with remeshing to retopology. Nope. Which one was it? It's the new one. It's not quadrangulate. It's like it actually does proper topology. But which one was it? Wasn't it based on the 2D view? There's one that like overlays a quad mesh, and with this being a perfectly rectangular mesh, that would work perfectly fine. It was giving me a topology that follows exactly. And the quadrangulate is probably fine. So let's try exporting this. Export. Where is it? Export selected. Scarf thick. Single object is fine. Thick object. Cool. Probably kill ZBrush. Right, so let's hide you for a second. File, import. And does this generate UVs? It does. So I'm not really too keen on how it looks over here. It's too... it's really struggling right now. It's too folded. I really want this to be straight through. Which is easy enough to do. In theory. Let's give it a go. So it's... we've got pretty much every pin where we need it. Oh yeah, that's why. Delete that pin. Then pin U. No, U. Delete that pin. And pin U. And then down here we need to pin. Nope. Pin U. Nope. Do I have to view this with thin mesh? Pin U. And then pin U. Can unpin U now. You. Delete set to pin. Delete set to pin. Just pull that over like that. And then set to pin. It's just going straight back over, isn't it? I need to make more room for it by doing this. looks like I can settle, and that's good enough. Be that thick. That looks better to me. There we go. There we go. That's better to me. So let's export that. Export selected. Oh wait, is that quadrangulated? It is. I have to remember how to do it. I'm going to save that. File, export selection. Export selected. It's got thick. That's fine. And then, what were the options? Where is it? It's not remesh, is it? Oh, that's the one. Perfect. So does that work with thick? I really hope so. So let's give that a go. File, export selection. File, import. Yes, there we go. So now why are they not connected? Right, so I need to weld all verts that are within a certain distance, so let's just do, oh. Merge verts, merge verts. Let's not go that high maybe, oh no. Right. If I set it to 1, that's too high, so let's try 0.5. So let's try that. How many polygons is this thing? Why is it complaining? It's 24,000 polygons, it's not massive. Let's try assigning that. that one. I think we can have some fun with that. It's not overly happy with its position, but I can always redo it, because the thing is with doing something like this is I can redo it at any point, because topology is basically automatic as long as, you know, it's a strip mesh, which in this case it is. Like this, the retopology method it uses is perfect for scarves. Like it just works. There's nothing else to it. Deeper shading, wireframe, that is very satisfying. I look forward to when Marvelous Designer can actually generate proper retopology meshes, where it's not just quad meshes generated on top, but like actually has flows that follow stitches and that sort of stuff. Right, so what have we got left to do? Need some more details. Because currently he's missing all the stuff that makes him interesting. Like, I know shaders will do a certain amount, but like the trousers are really boring to look at. The shoes have nothing to them, like they need some models. So they need some model detailing. Sleeves are missing a fair bit of stuff. Hat is fine, face is fine, hands are fine. Just everything else. It's not number, not ideal. One thing I'm worried about slightly is when I merged the verts, would it have merged anything that's like up here? It looks like it didn't, which is fortunate. So I guess let's take that back down in size now. So we got the whole scene. So let's set that down to 1 scale. Oh yeah. Let's put the hair back in that. So operating on different pivot points, so I need to make sure they're scaled together. Getting there though. This is considerably denser than everything else, although I am debating going a subdiv higher for the final mesh, which would be, well, not for that, but be something like that. At which point it's still more dense, but it looks more, you know, it looks more in place. It doesn't look as bad as that. Right, so we're going to start UVs pretty soon. I need to make the trousers interesting as well. Am I going to model the inside of this thing? I feel like I kind of should. Because I am still debating like giving this out as something for people to rig. Like literally just post it online for free. Just be like, yo, if you want to do some rigging, here's a moderately okay mesh. It's by no means perfect. I'm definitely not a modeler. I'm more on the groom and look dev side, but like, you know, it's better than a lot of the free models out there, I think. Other than like 3D scan stores, because they're normally absolutely incredible. Uh-oh. Yes, don't ask again. Oh, but it's okay. That's a glitch, isn't it? Right, okay, so how are we gonna... I'll do. And let's just go into surfaces, set to face, and then soften edge. That's about for everything actually, bar the hair. Set to face, soften edge. I need to go around and name all the meshes. I don't want to curl out the bottom of this thing. Something like that. And then let's go with that section. And just move that in. Because they're going to put a button there. Although it might be a bit too low for a button, maybe. Okay, what we need is my favorite type of looping. There we go. Cool. And then let's just duplicate, mirror over. Then let's make it a little bit asymmetrical. Modify, center pivot. Bit too asymmetrical. Let's do that. Still too asymmetrical. Asymmetry is good if you keep it subtle. If you do asymmetry too obviously, then it looks more CG than if you didn't have the asymmetry. So let's just do that. And let's make it slightly bigger. There we go. Right, next thing. Did I make his butt too flat? I think I did. Let's do... There we go. He's got some volume now. Although it looks more like a diaper. So maybe let's increase that radius. Yeah, I'm going to end up having to delete the inside of this mesh. So what I'm going to do is not UV it for a while. Right, these shoes are going to need a bit of work to make them look interesting as well. I think having some string that ties them would be kind of cool. Like have this section just be pulled in by string. So let's duplicate that. I don't need to duplicate it. Let's just get this edge loop. Modify, convert to... Well, actually I need to get rid of... Yeah, just to make things a little easier, let's duplicate you. So that. I'm going to insert an edge loop right there. We'll see why in a moment. Do that, modify, convert. Pulling in edges to curve. So I left that hole just so I can kind of use that mesh now. Cool. Control vertex. Something funky's going on over here. Oh, they swapped sides, what? What's going on with the mesh? Nothing. What the fuck? Alright, cool. Let's convert that. Curve utilities, attach brush to curve. Turn that down a little bit. It's not what I want. I could even do this as like some kind of metal clip. Modify, convert paint effects to polygons. Quad. Assign our new material. I don't know if there's a way to automate this or not, but I remember Frankino sent me something that could probably be used to do this. I can't remember where I kept it. If Frankino ever sees this, I apologise for forgetting where the script he sent me was. The one that was for braids. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. That, like, in of itself already looks more interesting. So now let's just go into edge mode. Soft select that shit. Move you up. I'm gonna change the scale of these. Modify, send to pivot. Scale out. And what we can do at this point is massively swell up this guy. And then we have a loop below it, perfect. Massively swell that up, move it down. Maybe do some manual modeling here. How much more interesting does that look now than I said? There we go. So, next thing, let's do my favorite thing. Okay, a little sewing line, although this one I'm going to put out. Going outwards. And then insert a loop right there and push you in. There we go. That's better. Not really too keen on this shape back here. That looks more interesting. And to add some asymmetry, what I'll do is I'll have one side where it's like flopping over. Just gonna grab. I really don't like the silhouette. Now I've got over here. Wait, does 7 work? Oh my god. That's not what I wanted to do anyway, but I did not know that 7 works with dome lights. 7 is to show lights, to use all lights. What I like to do though is a quick tip. I've been using this for quite a few years now, it's really helpful. So obviously you're modeling without a background. If you press 7, it turns on all lights. However, if you don't have anything in your scene, it doubles as a silhouette mode. So when I look at this just looks disjointed. So I'm just going to grab this section just here and just move that in. And that will look less disjointed. To me that looks a lot better. I might be wrong, I'm probably wrong. But to me it looks better. Now we can unhide the background. I did not know that dome lights work with that. That's kind of incredible actually. Because after all, there are reasons to use Arnold. It's the integration it's got. kind of want to do like a rubberized thing on the bottom. Like a different fabric. It's like he's wearing socks that are specifically for, like, you know, you can get outdoor socks. In fact, let me see if I can find them. Or shoe socks, I think they're called. Shoe socks. Or slipper socks. So these look horrific, but the general idea is the same. It's like their socks are designed to be worn like shoes. They look awful. They look probably really comfortable. But, oh my god, that's horrible. But yeah, like this kind of thing. This could be quite interesting to do. Obviously, like, judging by the concept art, this is not modern day. But the general idea of, like, you know, maybe someone's sewn a thicker fabric on the bottom, that could look quite cool. I'm not sure I'm convinced by the thickness at the top. Maybe this should come in a bit. Actually, that was kind of promising. So I need to do that manually. Which one's more interesting? I think this one. Yeah, that's a lot better. And then we can do something back here. Something like that. There we go. Let's just grab you, do that. That looks so much better. And having that tiny little lip down here helps as well. Should add a rim to the top. I'm not sure on that one. Yellow. Nah, I don't like that at all.
Don't like you.
Thanks. I'll have the AirPods back, please. No.
Who are you?
I did a scarf, Becca.
That's nice.
Look.
Oh, that's good. Click on it. Oh, that's cool. Did you do it Marvelous?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Finally used Marvelous for something that wasn't a balaclava, like a sarcastic balaclava on Echo Twigs.
A what? A what?
Balaclava?
It's not balaclava.
Balaclava.
Yeah. What did you call it?
Balaclava.
Balaclava?
I.
Baklava is a dessert, Mike.
I'll have a clava. You know what else is a dessert, Becca? Pavlova.
Pavlova.
So, next thing he's doing. Mesh display. Set to face, soften
I can't
edge.
believe you've done this.
Oh, I can't believe you've done this. Should the shoulders be lower? Becca, look at that silhouette. Shoulders feel too high to you.
I can't see. I don't know. It's hard with, yeah.
I don't like the coat silhouette at the back.
I can't remember. Oh, fuck. I see it this else.
Also, something I didn't know. Arnold dome lights, when you press view all lighting, work in viewport.
Yes, I didn't know that.
I didn't, and I'm very impressed. Like, really impressed. think the ambient lighting on it is a little bit too bright, but that's probably just some color correction thing under the hood. You can probably fix it. And color temperature doesn't work, but that's to be expected. So that's 6500 again. Oh yeah, I can close my outlets now. Save this scene. Cool. Hey Nick, how you doing, man? Right, I need to get the straps over here. I just need to add a loop inside there because that's too barren. So, a bit tricky with the shoulders as the jacket he's wearing looks like the 50s shoulder pad phase. Yeah, I have pronounced it a bit more, but then the arms are raised. Like the reason I kind of sculpted this to be square is because when you raise your arms, this bit bunches up anyway, and when I lower the arms, that will kind of naturally slope down. I'm at the phase now I need to start adding more detail to the model, and then I can take it into sculpting. I'm probably just going to re-sculpt, to be honest, rather than try to transfer details, because it's just so much easier to do so. And then I'll probably redo the thickness of the jacket, because sculpting it with thickness I don't think is the way to do it. I might reach out to someone and be like, yo, how the fuck? Like, do people sculpt cloth when they've already got retopologist model? Do they sculpt it as a thin mesh and then extrude it after the fact? Or do you kind of... I've got a feeling that is the correct way, but the other way is it better to have a thickness and kind of model it? Is there a specific way to model it, like brush depth? Is there something you can do? You okay, Becca? How come?
I'm just watching a video. You know one of those like food videos? They're like, why the fuck?
Yeah.
Who paid for this? I need to send this to Nick.
Also, I'm probably going to stream pretty soon, just because retopology fatigue is kicking in, but I do need to keep pushing on the retopology before I move off of this and onto sculpting. I also need to do the whole other fucking character and the box, but this character is a lot more simple, just because the body's hidden by fur, so the model is just a case of get the tube thickness right, which is easier said than done. And then the mask, obviously I can detail, but the thing is with the mask that I don't need groom on it, so I can kind of do this as its own self-contained thing. The box is just some planks, so that's just a case of getting better at wood sculpting. And then the grass, I'm going to attempt to doing groom, but I'll probably convert it to a geometry so I can kind of add things by hand and actually match the shapes. This project though is less about matching the reference exactly and just getting the general feel of it. Like I don't want to spend months on this project. I'm already, what, 2 weeks in? But, well, not even 2 weeks in, but, you know, we have retopologed as a whole character. So it's going at a relatively good pace. I just don't want to pixel fuck myself at this point. Let's get this. Duplicate. Solo. And delete. Delete you. Delete you. Can mirror this over to the other side. So then let's get you there, you there.
Oh, you know, so this thing that I'm watching, if Nick is listening, I'm gonna tag you in it, Nick.
Let's grab you. No, actually keep you.
It's it's terrifying.
What makes it terrifying?
Just the whole thing is terrifying. Like, who thinks that this was a good idea?
Can you please describe what you mean?
I'll tag you in the video.
Is it something that shouldn't be mentioned on
the
stream?
Really craving saltine crackers, you know, like the really fucking good ones that you get. So
That didn't go in the direction I expected it to. You're saying something's like terrifying, and then you say it's making me want, like, really crave crackers.
So what they've done is, right, they've taken saltine crackers. So first to play it, right, picture this, they put a layer of mayonnaise, right?
Right.
Then you get the saltine crackers, which are like, you know, those little salty crackers that you get with soup and stuff. They're really nice, like Ritz, but they're the square ones. So first they put mayonnaise in them, then they line them up, these little crackers up, and they make like a 4x4 square, right? Then you get some boiled eggs, right?
Right.
Then they mash them. Then with some mayo, so we've got more mayo. So then they put that on a layer of the crackers, right? And then they spread it out. I don't know why they swap from a spoon to a spatula, but that's to be defined. And then what have they done next? Oh, they put another layer of saltine crackers. Perfect, right? Okay, so that's it done. Then 2 cans of fish.
Okay.
Then you've got 2 mashed things of fish with mayo. That does not look good. Then they put that on the next layer of crackers. Right.
Right.
And then some sliced lettuce leaves. Okay, and then they've got mayo and garlic. And they spread that on the next layer. Right.
Okay.
Then they've got grated cheese. Then more crackers. Then more mayo.
Is this video a cinematic universe?
I feel like it is.
Like, it doesn't sound like a quick video.
And then it continues, then they put mayo along the whole thing, so like they cover all the crackers and the side bits of mayo, right? So we're getting there. So it's like, kind of like a weird iced cake now. Then you cover the whole thing covered in mayonnaise with grated cheese. So that's the multiverse bit right there, right? So that's, and then the top layer's got cherry tomatoes sliced on top of it, which makes it looks like something from like, you know, the 80s videos? Like the food, like the weird jelly olive things. That's what
that sort of shit, yeah.
It's terrifying. Try this one too. No, don't try this one too. Don't try any of these. Why would you do this to yourself?
How do you choose your materials? Like the second character's face looks like it's made of wood. I'm choosing them based on just pure imagination, to be honest. Like this obviously we can tell some of this is cloth. We can tell this is like a twill type fabric just based on the pattern it's got drawn on it and the type of garment it is. So we can do this as twill really easily. This, I haven't decided if I want to do as like a corduroy or just like a pinstripe cotton suit. But generally, in terms of like his skin, obviously we could do that as skin, but I just felt like this image would look so cool as a miniature. So I'm going to go with doing him as wood and this is wood. And what that would allow me to do, something that I kind of want to do is like a mini narrative device, is have this whole thing feel like it's made, you know, physically made with, you know, wood and cloth and whatever, like a Leica film. But if I want to make this feel super creepy without like doing over the top lighting that just looks cringy, like, you know, glowing red eyes and that sort of shit, I could maybe try to hide, like, it's a very subtle effect and it won't be noticed by most, but it'll be there and that could be quite cool, is to have behind the mask you can just about make out like actual lifelike eyes, like something fleshy. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do it yet, because we do need it to be insanely dark, but maybe just having something that feels a little bit too real on the inside, like kind of relying on Uncanny Valley as a storytelling device. Because Uncanny Valley is one of those things, I can't remember what the name of the film was, it was something that one of my old lecturers shown me. And they used Uncanny Valley as a narrative device in their film, like they intentionally made the visual effects really weird. And I don't mean like, oh, you know, quirky models, I mean like, there's very visibly intentional design choices that were made to make it feel uncanny, but they use that as like the monster or the bad guy in the film just was uncanny, made you physically uncomfortable to look at. And I kind of want to do that with this. So if I make just the fur feel a little bit too realistic, like if the whole scene looks miniature but then the fur just feels organic, which is easier said than done because that means making a natural looking groom. But if I can pull that off and make him feel just a little bit more real than the rest of the scene, that could be quite interesting to me. Still do a wooden mask, so he's trying to appear like, you know, like everything else. You know, oh, I'm stop motion too, but actually there's something more to it. I just think that could be so interesting. Probably not be executed well because this isn't my zone really. Like I'm not a narrative guy. And it's hard to tell narrative with a single image, like at least for me, like it's not my skill set. But I just think it could be so interesting to do. Yeah, that's my TED talk. Becca, I'm not funny. No. Yeah, I think what I'll do is this stream will be finishing up pretty soon. But I'm going to take the model as far as I can. I'm basically going to model it in Maya from this point for a little while. Once I've got the model feeling right volumes-wise, then I'll go into ZBrush and just sculpt it back up. The face I'm going to try to transfer details, just because the face I was pretty happy with the way the sculpted wrinkles came out. Like if I go into my Facebook, I say wrinkles, they're not wrinkles. But like, I'm pretty happy with the general pattern of this wood. Like, obviously it's super easy to resculpt, but I think it'd just be easier just to save this by transferring it. Eyelids are super quick to resculpt, they're delicious clay tubes. But I feel like doing this, again, would be kind of pointless, so I'll transfer that, but everything else I'm going to try to resculpt from scratch. The tie I'm going to remodel, I think, because I'm not happy with the way the tie is right now. I kind of do want to make it as one piece. Now that I've done this as one piece, maybe I'll go back into Marvelous Designer and make a tie. Who knows? But I need to figure out the volumes. I need to get the shapes working. As I said earlier in the stream, there's a few shapes that I haven't captured the graphic look yet. So, you know, the small thing that I pointed out earlier is the collar. It meets it like a perfect arrow. Like basically at the chins. There's actually like a little X here. But the key thing to that, I'm not going to be able to get that X, I don't think, very easily. But something that I can get very easily is the shape of the chin on its own, and the fact that these collars should meet. So this should form a V shape. Basically it's a case of doing something along those lines to make it meet at more of a point. Something like that, and then pull these together maybe. Something along those lines. Obviously do it properly, but yeah, that's a super quick, hacky approximation of it. But do it properly, so I'll be redoing that. But it's like a few things like that I need to get. I need to capture some of the details. There's this shape here, which I don't know what it is. I've got a feeling it's to taper the coat, so maybe the coat is kind of, the pattern for the coat would make it super round, like square, like this. But then there's a strap at the back, there's a kind of a mini belt that just kind of grabs all of this and pulls it in. Let's just do that. And then I'm going to turn off symmetry. But maybe it's like specifically done so that it pinches it in. Kind of, it will create some really interesting folds, and it will also kind of sharpen the silhouette. But at the same time, this isn't very sharp, so it'd be loose. Like, but you can see it like pulls in towards this. So that's what I've got a feeling it is. I don't know, because I don't know outfits very well. I don't know if that's actually a thing in real garments or not. But it's something that could be possible. I see no reason for it to be, you know, not done. Yeah, I just need to find a way to make these models read nicely. And then once I've done that, I can sculpt the details. Although I might try to do a lot of the details in... I might try to do a fair chunk of the details in shader. Because I do want to kind of deep dive the shaders on this, because I'm going for that realistic stop motion-y thing. So it'd be really fun to dive into that, I think. Texturing is going to be mental. Like, I've got a feeling texturing for this is just going to unravel and get more and more complex. I haven't decided what pipeline I want to go. I don't know if I want to go for substance for masks and then Mari for painting, or if I just want to go full substance or full Mari. I don't know yet. For the cloth, I'll probably go mostly procedural, just because cloth is something I'm pretty comfortable with. I did the research paper for university like 3-4 years ago now. In fact, it was third year, so that was almost 4 years ago at this point. For like tileable fabrics and making realistic fabric with just procedural like tileable maps. So I'm gonna try to do that and make some really, really nice looking fabric shaders. But everything else isn't as easy. Scarf wise, I don't know what to do, to be honest, but we'll get there. I'm really happy with how that scarf turned out, actually. Marvelous Designer is helpful. This scarf isn't worth 500 quid, so I'm gonna need to make sure I can continue to use Marvel Designer just to actually get my money's worth out of it. But you know, over time we'll get something. But yeah, in terms of detailing, so I need to delete you. Duplicate -1, and let's get you as well. Group, duplicate the group, -1. The reason I group it is because it sets the pivot to exactly world origin, so if your model's symmetrical, it will mirror it over. And I can just put these in there. And then let's just grab everything, modify free transformations. Cool. Turn off display polygons, face normals. But it's getting to the point now where the model's starting to have some interest. The other models in the scene are a lot easier. Getting the creepiness of that monster is going to be really difficult, I think. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to look dev him in T-pose and then pose him, or if I want to pose him basically as soon as the topology is done and sculpt him in pose, because I don't need him to be able to move. So I can probably get away with quite a lot in terms of, like, you know, just sculpt him in pose and make something interesting. Doing the groom is going to be cool. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do the groom. In fact, before I end the stream, I'm going to quickly look. I will be ending stream once I've done this Google. I want to see how Leica do hair.
Aladogs might be a good ref for you as well.
Yeah, have Leica ever done like actual hair? I know there's Paranorman, right? Like Paranorman's got actual hair.
Try Kubo. Kubo might have been real hair. I know that.
I don't think he was. No, Kubo's not. Kubo's clay. I think Paranorman's the only one Leica have done that's actual like fibers.
I actually know 2 people who did puppets for them.
Oh really? Nice. Isle of Dogs. I think Isle of Dogs will be quite helpful for. Oh yeah, forget that Isle of Dogs is also Canary Wharf.
Yeah.
There's actually Canary Wharf is called Isle of Dogs, or the thing it sits on. So we got that, and we got Leica film. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Would I want to do this thick straw-like hair? Hey, Rebecca, can you come over here for a sec?
I gotta give Johnny a text.
Oh, sure. Yeah. And Paranorman. Oh, Paranorms. I've got a friend who's like really obsessed with this film. One of my old housemates. It was her that actually kind of taught me about Leica via her obsession with box trolls and Paranorman. Ooh.
Yeah, that's the armatures are so weird.
I was saying earlier, I actually am debating doing the armature for this guy because I'm already modeling everything. I could give away the model. Hell, actually, at this point, I could actually still sell the model because I've not done any texture work in non-commercial stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't like selling products.
You can put the model up online for more riggers.
Yeah. Well, I was saying about putting it online earlier. Part of me is just like, do I monetize it? But at the same time, I don't like monetizing stuff.
I'm trying to think of whatever stop motion movies there's been. Oh, that'll be a good one. Anona Melissa.
Melissa?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I spelled it wrong. What a surprise.
Go to images and then the puppets for it.
Huh, this is interesting.
It's a fucking adult movie. There's a gif of him eating her out, which is quite funny.
Oh, you've shown me this, yeah.
But the
I'm not
puppets
too
are
keen on
friggin'
that
real.
style.
Like the puppets are so cool. Like I love this.
Yeah.
Like this could be cool ref for you. He buys a sex puppet from Chinatown and gives a discount.
Perfect. It's just cool. This fabric's really cool. I like the groom on the fabric. That's something I'll get to do actually. Maybe this could be the project where I reach out to Paragon Labs and like, hey, can I have Yeti for 6 months?
Cool. Yeah, I suppose. Get to learn it.
Because I spoke to them like a year ago and was like, hey, I'm happy to make some tutorials if you give me a free license. And they're like, we'll give you a temporary license. And at that point I died because I was like, I'm not making free tutorials for you guys for a temporary license.
Yeah.
Like a glorified trial.
Yeah, I really like the puppets. For
How much is Peregrine Labs Yeti?
It's really creepy. Because there's a scene where so he takes like the whole thing is like they normally comp out these base plates.
Uh-huh.
So you see the line in between his eyes, they're normally all comped out. But they decided to keep them in, and there's a piece where he notices his face coming off after the shower, and he pulls off his whole entire faceplate. So it's like, wait, I'm a puppet. It's actually not that bad.
Yeti Studio is $700.
Yeah.
There has to be is there not a indie license one?
No.
That's 5 render licenses. Like that is an unnecessary amount of stuff. I wouldn't need that.
Contact them, I suppose.
Yeah. Because if it was like 300 quid, I'd buy it. Like fuck it, may as well. Although the rendering setup is infamously bad, and I really don't like it. But this is cool. I quite like the fabric. So I'll probably do room-wise this kind of fabric. In terms of hair, I do like Paranorman.
They're not hair, though. Sure, they don't.
Paranorman himself is hair, I think.
Oh, okay. I like this guy.
I think he's hair as well.
Yeah, it looks like
I think they actually are fibers. They're just glued together. Like they're incredibly.
Aardman movies have hair. Early Man, they've all got hair.
This is cool.
Look up Early Man. They've all got hair.
Sure.
And the pirate one as well. I can't remember the name of it.
Pirates.
Yeah. No, it's like pirates. Yeah, so
it's called Pirates.
This is thicker. Aardman going up.
Yeah, this is a bit too stop motion-y for me. Although it's kind of cool.
The pirates one's all proper hair though. I don't know what it's called. So it's like pirates and the something of something.
What I was saying earlier is
like
I quite like this aggressive choppiness.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I like this too. The flowy shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like it feels like real fur that's just insanely greasy, and I kind of like that. I feel like for the monster that would work quite well. But this wouldn't work so well because it's dangly. So this won't work.
Oh, you mean for that?
Yeah. I was saying I do need to figure out the kid as well.
I'll see if I can get contact. It's a girl that used to do puppets for she's worked for I think it's like Saunders and stuff, something Saunders. I can't remember the name of them, but they do like the Arden puppets and shit. But she's really talented.
I'm gonna leave that for now. There has to be a good image of Paranorman, right? If I such Paranorman hair. Someone did a groom of him in art station. Nice. How long ago was this posted? 2 years. Kind of interesting to see. This isn't how I'd approach it personally, but it was cool. Yeah. Yeah, there we go, Becca. Look, it's like stupidly thick, paperish fibers.
Like,
that must have taken ages. Like, holy fuck.
puppets are cool.
Oh yeah.
The Sainsbury's advert as well.
The Sainsbury's advert. That didn't have hair, did it?
I think it did. Sainsbury's.
Oh, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh yeah, it would be cool actually. I forgot about that one. Oh, they did an egg play.
Yeah, I don't remember the Sainsbury's one having her.
I love that.
This is cool.
The breakdown for it was actually really cool as well. Oh, they've got cool fur.
Yeah. I don't think it would suit this, but I quite like the texture of it.
If you're thinking stop motion,
Ooh.
you would also be better looking at really
This
old
would work
school,
well for the kid.
Like, you would be better looking at really old school SFX
Yeah.
because
How old school we talking though?
well, old whenever they use puppeters for everything, things like
King Kong.
Yeah, King Kong, zombie. What do you call that zombie one? Brain Dead, like Peter Jackson style.
That was in the era of Rick Baker though, so that will already be starting to get really quite real.
What I mean is, it was real instead of using CG. It was real
Yeah.
puppets for everything. Like,
But what I'm saying is that with the case of Brain Dead, like that was Rick Baker. Labyrinth could be a good show.
Like, what do you call that one? Never Ending Story. You know the big white thing.
Yeah.
I know it was pretty, but like the models as they get older, there's photos of them online where they're completely like destroyed, which is quite cool.
I'm leaning towards a paranormal style for the kid. Just this like stupidly chunky. Getting this like fractured look is going to be really difficult. Let me just drag this into oh wow, the size of this image. I love it. Alright, let's optimize this canvas. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to end the stream, guys, because I've literally just been looking at hair for like the last 10 minutes. Yeah, hope you've found this interesting. Let's kill this for now. Yeah, in the next stream, I'm okay with this for now. I kind of want to change how this lies a little bit, but I can probably do it manually in Maya, to be honest. Like, just soft select the fuck out of it. We need to start getting some details in the Maya model. Might go a subdivision higher. Not entirely set on that yet. Might have to remove thickness again. Not sure on that, but we do need to get things like there's a crease at the front for like this area, which we'd need to figure out how to model that in. Like that kind of works, but like small things like that. You see how that already? Let's assign a blin. See, that already adds more interest. So I kind of want to get stuff like that in there, like really start to get the model to feel cool, like on its own. It shouldn't need displacement to look interesting, which is kind of my key thing in my head at the moment. Like I really want to avoid needing displacement. So yeah, I'm gonna call that the stream off here. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the night, guys. I'll be streaming again probably on Tuesday. As I said, timing will be really up in the air for this week. But then next week, Becca's away again, so I'll probably have a bit more free time, depending on freelance. But yeah, anyway, see you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.